Welcome to the Believe in the Land weekly podcast. My name is Andy Billman. Let's take a look back at the week that was in Cleveland sports. It's a lot to digest with the Cavs. We're going to get to them next. That was not a good Disney World adventure. The Guardians had their first taste of elite baseball. Actually, their second, because the Yankees are very good too. They went down to the Braves. They actually played pretty well for the most part, even though they lost 2 out of 3. We'll get to the Guards. But we're going to go first NFL draft to the Browns. You know, this is the last year, as everybody knows, of no first-round picks. And I want to say something off that first, and we'll get to what they did in the draft. I think it is actually nice that the Browns are not in the midst of all these teams trying to get a quarterback this year. I don't miss that part of the Browns fandom. I don't miss trying to seek out stats and statistics and measuring rates and blah, 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 blah. I don't miss that stuff. I know there's a lot of questions about what's going to happen to Deshaun and chatter from a lot of people inside and outside the fandom. But let's just be frank. I don't miss these days unless you have a Caleb Williams type of situation where it's a given and the kid's going to be, it seems like he's going to be very good. I just don't miss these situations where you kind of wait and wonder what quarterback to take, especially when you're talking about the Patriots, the Broncos. But I just don't miss it. I don't miss it, and I'm glad the Browns are not a part of that anymore. Again, I know there's a lot of questions about Deshaun, but I'd rather deal with that than deal with these teams that just sit there and, you're crossing your fingers and hoping for the best, especially for the Falcons. Again, the Broncos, and by the way, it's great that the Broncos have to take a guy like Nixon off his wrist. That's great. I think that's going to be a big flop. But anyways, I don't miss it. Browns, though, did get the draft in the second round, and they took Michael Hall Jr., the Buckeye. Great. Awesome. It's hard not to get excited about this pick. He's a Northeast Ohio kid coming back to play for his fandom, the Browns. It's awesome. I mean, how can you not get excited about it? And the defensive tackle position for the Browns outside of Tomlinson. And Maurice Hurst actually showed some things last year, too, before he got hurt. Has been very much a position of weakness in the last 4 to 5 years outside those two gentlemen. So to bring someone in here like this who could possibly rush a quarterback, who excels, who has shown great speed and talent, it makes a lot of sense. It was a good draft pick for the Browns. It's hard not to get excited about it. Zach Zinter comes in as a guard. This is purely to bring in the next and new offensive line. I was not in love with this pick because I would like to see the Browns taking a wide receiver at tight end or even a linebacker like Colson in that spot. All that to be said, okay, those are the things that did not happen. So you take that for what it's worth. Looking at this pick again, though, it is a great pick when it comes to building your offensive line for the future. This is a future pick. He's not going to pass Teller. He's not going to pass Petonio. But what the Browns are signaling is they do care about their offensive line, and they realize in the next year or so it's going to be changing. Whippler is going to be playing more starting next year, in my opinion. And you're definitely going to see Damian Jones replace either tackle. And then you bring in a guy like Zinter, whether it's Petonio or Taylor, that will probably we'll figure that out next year, maybe the season after. But the new offensive line is being built for the Browns. So I give the Browns credit because building an offensive line it is not something snappy you can do. They put great care into it, and it really helps your team. All that's true. Just would love to see a different player taken there, but you can't question the pick of Zinter. He's a good pick. He's going to be probably a good player in this league. Makes a lot of sense in those range. That's just something I would love to see the Browns could have done. From there, a lot of people were hard on Thrash, the wide receiver out of Louisville. I think that made a lot of sense there. He's a quick, speedy receiver, played in a very pass-friendly offense with Jeff Brom. That made a lot of sense. I'd keep your eye on the Mississippi State linebacker. I like picks like that. Usually guys like that usually play well in the NFL, even on just at the least of special teams. Keep your eye on a player like that, in my opinion, and then the rest is the rest. It's hard to determine what these guys are going to be outside that they're 7th-round picks. The Browns go back to picking full draft load next year. That said, Michael Hall, Zinter, it's exciting. It's good stuff. Again, would love to have seen to pick up one more maybe specialist when it comes to guys that can make plays on offense. That said, you can't get too upset with what the Browns did. And Zenter and Hall are very, very exciting players. Caps. Whoa. Tuesday night is a big night for this organization. I would deem this the job-saving game. JB can win his job winning on Tuesday and finishing out the series with a win. I don't think he'll survive this if they lose. I don't. Kobe Altman is a lot more questionable, but even he, I would say, win this game and your job is pretty safe. You feel good about it. This is a job-saving game on Tuesday. It was absolutely ridiculous how poorly they played on Thursday and Saturday. I caught a lot of grief on the Instagram channel at Official Cleveland Sports after the game for being too hard after the Thursday loss. But the reason why I was so hard on Thursday is what ended up happening on Saturday. To be up by 9 points and to lose by 20 plus on the road. Think about that. The Cavs were up 9.5 and they ended up losing by 20 plus on the road. Mitchell's going to have to play better. Darius Garland needs to find whatever he has been searching for since the All-Star break. He has just been dreadful. Dreadful. He's got to play better. He is a high-paid player in the NBA, and this is just flat out not good enough. Not good enough. LeVert gives some things. Niang, nothing. Okoro, nothing. Little to nothing. Okoro, who has been very good and well improved in regular season, has shown up with a big, fat goose egg outside of game 2. Gotta do more than this. Strus, nothing. These complementary players have to play better. I actually think Mobley and Allen have been good. Allen's had a very good series, in my opinion. Mobley's been good. He's got some moments where he's got some things to work on, but I don't have as much problem with the front court right now. That said, they have to do a better job rebounding. They're getting pushed around again, rebounds, but I'm not seeing what I saw last year where I'm seeing the 2 forwards getting pushed. It's guard play, and it's actually a small forward, and just flat-out guards are not boxing out. Cavs are really struggling in the series against a team that has less experience and, frankly, don't have as talented of guard play, but they're outplaying the 2 guards. And Strus has just been very unimpressed with Strus in the playoffs. Like him as a player in the regular season, but I thought his performance in Orlando was dreadful. Dreadful. And this complimentary line of, well, he plays defense and he passes. Actually, I don't see Strus doing, giving efforts. It should be a given in the NBA. That should not be rewarded with compliments. I like Strus. I want Strus to succeed. Like him. He's not playing good enough. He gets paid really well. Time to perform. Job-saving time for the Cavs on Tuesday. Job-saving time. Got to save this job. If they don't, nightmare. The Cavs going on to the guards now. Guards got to play in Atlanta. They did hold their own, which was good to see. Hunter Gaddis does not have a good weekend. He's going to have to fix some things. I felt bad for Hunter. He grew up as a Braves fan. To play in that situation, not perform well, you feel bad for the young man. He gave up his first run of the season in Atlanta. He gave up 4, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Hopefully he'll figure things out. On the positive end, Bybee was wonderful Saturday night in their win. Lively was okay yesterday. Logan Allen was okay. He got banged around pretty hard on Friday. The guards have to start getting more length from their pitchers. It was great to see that from Bybee, but for long time sustainability, geez, early in the morning, say that, they are going to have to find better, consistent, quality starts from their starters. Frankly, just hasn't seen that so far in the early part of the season. That said, they held their own this series. It was a tough loss on Sunday, being up 3-1. And then the 10th inning to see Quan get picked off on a play where he should never come off second base. That was a bad out. He knew it. He didn't even have any reactions. He knew how bad it was. And then for J-Ram to take first to second Whether it was a hit and run, I'm not sure. I don't even know if it matters because you never pull up and he never not slide. And he did not slide in the second. I think if he slides, he's safe. And he pulled up. You can't pull up. If you're going to go, you got to go full board. I called he had a brain cramp. Those are things that, I think are one-offs. I'm not really worried long-term about that. And again, the guards overall did hold their own with the Braves. That's the big win. Losses happen in baseball. You play way too many games to get hung up on one loss. But to see the Guardians hold their own with the Braves was good to see. And they have a long road to grow. There's a lot more, especially in starting pitching, especially around this lineup. I think they have a long-term growth here, which gives it very exciting. My one note, I think at some point they're going to have to start deciding what to do with Laureano and what to do with Florio, because they could really use one more additional bat, that Manzardo kind of flavor, which is just sitting there in Columbus percolating and brewing. You got to think at some point they're going to make the jump to bring him up here. And the other good news, too, on the other end, Hinches is coming. Sounds like Eli Morgan's back on the mend. That'll be good for the bullpen. And at some point, I think they're going to have to make a decision on what to do with Tristan McKenzie / Cookie, because A, Gavin Williams will be back, but B, I think Xavier Curry needs to be up in the major leagues. So they're going to have to figure out that as well. So help is coming. Guards went 3-3 this week. They took the season series from Boston. That was great to see earlier in the week. It was a good week for the Guardians, even in a losing way. And it was a tough loss on Sunday. BelieveInTheLand.com. Go to @official Cleveland Sports for all your sports needs. We will be talking Cavs a lot on Tuesday. And again, job-saving time on Tuesday for the Cavs. Have a great week. That's the week that was in Cleveland sports.